And that's exactly what white people are doing. They're going across the earth, dominating and controlling and taking people's natural resources under the guise of establishing democracy. Shit, democracy don't work in America. The hell, you're going to establish someplace else.
Right.
The people
and
Iran don't want democracy. China don't want democracy. Afghanistan don't want a democracy. The Republic of the Congo and Tanzania and Ghana and South Africa and the Sudan, Libya, they don't want democracy. Democracy don't work for the white boy over here. Now, what was you going to say?
No, I was just listening to you. I had something, but then you just thinking back to what you were saying about how different countries don't want a democracy and so forth and so on. So now let's speed up a little bit. Let's focus on President Barack Obama.
Mm-hmm.
What in your opinion, why do you think he's in office right now?
Well, in my humble opinion,
right,
I think fascism. And if you don't know what the word means, I'm not talking to you, sister. I'm talking about your listeners. Because I find a lot of people calling me, emailing me, wanting to argue and debate, and they don't even know what these terms mean. Professor Griff didn't make up these terms. Fascism needs a new face. In order for them to control the natural resources across the globe, the still pale face, white people are getting tired of that. They need a new face because they're about to go into Africa. As a matter of fact, they've already been in Africa. Study the document called AFRICOM. A-F-R-I-C-O-M. AFRICOM.
Yeah.
They need a new face to go into Africa to control the natural resources. Because without the natural resources coming from Africa, these people can't exist. That's why they have that bloodshed in Darfur. That's why they're in Afghanistan to run the pipeline. Are you following me? To get oil.
Right.
That's why they're in South Africa. That's why multinational corporations have to control black people here in order to control black people there. Are you following me?
Right.
The one who's pulling the strings behind Barack Obama's back is the big new Brzezinski. I'm going to say it real slow. The big new Brzezinski is the one controlling things. He was Jimmy Carter's advisor, one of his top advisors. He's the one who's really controlling things. Look this man up and tell me if I'm lying. Zbigniew Brzezinski. Are you following me? Then you have to do what Steve Coakley said by connecting the dots. Find out who they're connected to and find out what organization they belong to. And then it trickles down. You can find out what secret society they belong to. You know what team they're on in a minute. That's not hard to do. That's not all you got to do is do a little bit of studying, stop getting high, and stop eating pork for a minute. Leave a damn concocted-ass religion called Christianity alone for a minute and start doing some real studying and come out of the damn box. You can find out these things. This is not hard to figure out. And I want to tell Christians one last thing for the Christians. If your church that you go to and your pastor that you worship belong to the World Council of Churches, you got a damn problem. Because that is the branch and the arm of the Illuminati to control religion. World Council of Churches. Put it in your search engine. And then call my brother, Professor Griff, and let me know what you come up with. Once again, my phone number is 678-557-2919.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to take some calls. We're into 45 minutes of the first hour, and I'm going to take some calls for Griff so they can ask, so people can ask you a few questions. I'm going to yell out the last four digits of the number, and then I'm going to ask the caller to go ahead and speak their question. Caller number 6689, you're on the air. Do you have a question for Professor Griff?
I'm just sitting here listening.
Okay,
I'm enjoying the show.
Thank you. Caller number 4255, you're on the air. Do you have a question?
I'm just listening as well, enjoying the show. Griff, put it down as always. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Our listeners. Caller number 5630, you're on the air. Do you have a question for Professor Griff?
Peace. Peace and balance to everybody. Yes, I do want to ask Professor Griff, first I want to say respect Professor Griff as well as Public Enemy for everything that they actually put forth for us. My question is, I wanted to know, during the days of Public Enemy, if you actually noticed a lot of these things going on during that time. Like, were you aware of all of the, were you aware of all the bullshit that's actually taking place? The stuff that we can see now is I think it's far more vivid. But I just want to know, being directly inside the business, were you able to see it?
I really appreciate your question, sister. And yes, I've seen it. And as Minister of Information, it was my duty and job inside of the context of Public Enemy to pass this information on to Chuck and the Bomb Squad, so when we made the songs, we could put this information in the songs. Are you following me? Surprisingly enough, even inside of the context of the group, I had to battle with individuals to get this kind of information out. They were fighting me tooth and nail. This is why at a certain period of time, they got rid of me. Now, sister, I want you to sit back and put on your seatbelt for a second. I talk about human sacrifice and blood rituals, right? But check this out, which I've never really said before, sister. Professor Griff was supposed to be Public Enemy's blood human sacrifice. I was supposed to be dead by now, according to them. Are you following me?
Wow.
Hello? So we have to understand, I'm not supposed to be on the scene now. After what I was doing in Public Enemy, I had scooped the power and started revealing who these people were. Right at that time, sister, they got rid of my black ass. Shortly after that, Chuck got a job with Fox, and this is no negative attack on Chuck D. I love the brother. But Chuck got a job with Fox, and then he got the job with Air America. All right? Then shortly after that, Flavor Flav started doing reality shows. I'm not saying that was the payoff, but I'm saying I wasn't supposed to be around now. But let me tell you what happened prior to that. When I started revealing these things, I studied a book called The Octopus. Go look this book up. Go look up a man by the name of John Todd. John, T-O-D-D, John Todd. Go to your YouTube, put in his name. I started revealing that they was taking the masters. After we finished with the music, they was taking the masters into the sacred chamber. And I'm not making this up, sister. They would take the masters, they would go into the sacred chamber, they would put the master on an altar, and they would do not only blood rituals with it, but they would go through these satanic rituals with the master, giving the masters a certain kind of frequency. So every song that would be played on the airways, controlled by them, right, would have this demonic frequency to it. And when I started revealing that, the brothers in Public Enemy got rid of my ass. I got poisoned in 1990. Ended up on a goddamn slab in Wimbledon, England. Wife left me and divorced me for whatever reason. Shit, you could call her and ask her that. Got back, I got well, thanks to some Rastafarian brothers. Got back to America. Got dropped from the label. Got sued. Ended up broke once again and had to go for self. Are you following me? At the same time, people with high-powered rifles were trying to take my life at Def Jam. Are you following me? So we have to understand this. So, yeah, I was telling it, but from inside of Public Enemy, I got silenced. So after that, I got signed to Luke, who was doing the booty shake thing, and you know goddamn well I wasn't with that shit. Excuse my language. But guess who hooked that deal up, sister? Chuck D hooked that deal up. I wasn't looking for no damn record deal. I wasn't a recording artist at the time. I was a minister of information. But Chuck D hooked that deal up, and that's how I ended up making those 3 albums. Pawns in the Game, which I read a book by William Cooper called Pawns in the Game, and please go read the book, who laid out the whole occult. He laid out the Hegelian dialectic principle and told you who are the players in this Illuminati thing. So I named my album after his book. The second album I made was called Chaos to Wisdom, because I wanted to bring brothers that were paying attention to me at the time from a chaotic state into some kind of wisdom. So I called it Chaos and Rise the Dome.